All right, let's get into it. Today, we're talking about a fitness phenomenon that's just blowing up around the world. And it's not doing it with massive ad campaigns, but with a strategy you could honestly call anti-marketing.
And that's the big question, right? In a world where we're constantly being sold something, how on earth do you build a global movement when you pretty much refuse to play the advertising game? Well, that's the puzzle we're going to solve today.
So take a look at this. This is Hyrox. It's less like a typical race and more like a massive festival. It's just buzzing with energy from athletes and spectators. And this exact vibe, it's happening in sold-out arenas all over the world. So how did they do it?
To really get it, we need to unpack the numbers. And honestly, they're kind of staggering, especially when you remember this is a brand that barely advertises.
Yeah, you heard that right. 650,000 people are expected to compete in just one season. I mean, this isn't some niche little sport anymore. This is a full-blown mainstream movement, and it's built almost entirely on people just telling their friends about it.
And if you want to see just how fast this thing is spreading, check this out. In a brand new market like Taiwan, you're looking at a 5-fold explosion in just 2 years. This isn't slow and steady, this is viral growth.
Okay, so we get it. It's massive. But what is it? Well, the secret to why so many people love it starts with its beautifully simple but brilliant formula.
The real genius is that it's a standardized format. So no matter where you are in the world, Taipei, London, Chicago, the race is the exact same. You run, you do a workout, and you repeat that cycle.
Think of this as the heartbeat of the whole thing. This loop is predictable, which means athletes can train for it. And, more importantly, they can measure their progress against anyone else on the entire planet. It's so simple to understand, but trust me, brutally hard to actually do.
And the workouts themselves, this is another key. We're not talking about super complex gymnastics or technical Olympic weightlifting. These are movements that are foundational. You're pushing sleds, carrying heavy things, doing lunges. They test your raw strength and endurance without you needing years of specialized training.
And you know, that accessibility, that was no accident. The founders saw this huge, massive opportunity in the market. The best way to think about it is that Hyrox is basically the new marathon for today's gym goer.
This was the big aha moment for them back in Germany in 2017. Think about it. Runners, they have their big city marathons. That's their ultimate goal. But what about the millions of us who just love going to the gym? What was our marathon? Well, Hyrox was created to be the answer.
And that's where the experience is just so different. A marathon is an incredible achievement, for sure, but a lot of it is a pretty lonely road. Hyrox, on the other hand, it turns the whole race into a spectator sport. It's this amazing shared experience that celebrates both your strength and your endurance.
And that right there is why it connects with so many people. It's built for the person who loves to train, who wants a big goal to shoot for, but who doesn't want to spend years and years mastering super technical skills. It's just a pure test of fitness, and it's open to pretty much everyone. So we know what it is, we know who it's for. Now let's finally solve that big mystery from the beginning. How did it grow so ridiculously fast with no ads? Well, it turns out it was a perfect storm of 3 key ingredients.
So let's break down how these 3 things created this self-sustaining growth engine. And we'll start with perfect timing, because, timing is everything.
Hyrox couldn't have picked a better time to show up. Post-pandemic, everyone's health was suddenly top of mind. We were all craving social events that had some kind of purpose. And in the fitness world itself, you had runners starting to lift and lifters starting to run. Hyrox just landed smack dab in the middle of all of it. Then you have the experience itself. And oh man, the experience is everything. Holding these events indoors in these huge arenas was a stroke of genius. It feels more like you're at a basketball game than a road race. The crowd is right there. The energy is electric. Everyone feels like they're part of the action.
Which leads us right to their core philosophy, their guiding star, really. They don't spend their money trying to convince you to come to an event. They pour all of their resources, all of their energy into making the event so memorable, so powerful, that you have to go tell everyone you know about it.
So when you look at their playbook, it's like they took the traditional marketing rulebook and just tossed it in the trash. Instead of buying ads, they obsess over every tiny detail of the participant experience. They just trust that a passionate community is going to be their most powerful marketing weapon. Even their ambassadors are real people chosen for their love of the sport, not their follower count.
So, okay, what's the big takeaway here? Why should you care about this story, even if you never plan on doing a single sled push in your life? Because really, this story goes way, way beyond the world of fitness. When you zoom out, what you're really looking at is a powerful blueprint for how to build a beloved brand in the modern world. It's all about putting an unforgettable experience and an authentic community way ahead of just buying ads.
So here are the big lessons any brand in any industry can learn from this. First, a great product, or in this case, a great event, is your best marketing. Second, creating an unforgettable experience for people is so much more powerful than any ad you could ever buy. And finally, if you can build an authentic community, those people will become your biggest advocates and grow your brand for you for free.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. In a world that is just totally saturated with ads, maybe the most powerful, most effective way to grow your brand isn't to market more, but to stop marketing altogether and instead focus all your energy on building something that people will never, ever forget.
喜欢这种学习方式，欢迎订阅我的频道，让我们一起用下一个10分钟，把商业英文变简单。